Welcome to Mystic Personas, everyone. This is your reading for the back half of the week of March the 26th. I know last week must have been amazing. Thank you for all the comments, and thank you to all of our members who gave us so much feedback about us. Last week was a pretty powerful week. I'm sure it was for you. That means this week might be very interesting. And if you haven't, make sure you go back and listen to the first half of the weeks and tie these two together, because it's amazing when you go back and look at it, right? Even if you just spend 20 minutes, go back and look at it and go, oh, wow. See how that all ties together. Here we go. The Fabler, the Anarchist, and the Omnis Seer. Wow, coming right out of the box. Okay, the Fabler. Well, we all know what the Fabler is. Well, I think we do. Let's try that again. So the Fabler, often we've heard this, the fables. We all heard those as kids, and that's not really what we're talking about here, but it sounds like it. So let's dive into it. The Fabler is really a charismatic storyteller. Now they're persuasive, but they're diplomatic, right? So they're not these grandioses, although they can be, but they tend to be more eloquent, which is why you see, the book that she's carrying is lit. You can see the amulet is lighting up her heart area. You see how she's moving the energy, and that's what they're doing, and that's what they're doing. So we all do, and that's the part of us that gets to go in there and weave this compelling, narrative. Well, let's talk about where that might be interesting in your life. I mean, it isn't always business. Think about a compelling narrative, right? Something that I know we could all use more is, what if you told a compelling narrative? How about we do this as a different way, to your significant other, to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or whomever you're dating, or even it's a first date? Because remember, one of the best things we enjoy is our mind being activated, because we already know what the physical is, right? In generalities, you know what that is. If not, read a book. If not, we know that the Fabler is really creating stories. So there's one place. What about with your kids? How about this one? How about we employ the Fabler to tell some new stories about us inside? Well, wouldn't that be interesting? How often have we told ourselves stories of doom and gloom? And yeah, you'll get motivated here and there. Maybe your gladiator runs in and says, okay, we have some ambition going on. Yay. But I'm talking about really telling some powerful stories. I mean, think about it. We tell these stories to other people. This movie was awesome. It was great. We tell them in detail, or we tell them about a trip we went on, or this influencer or celebrity that we met. We'll tell this in detail. What stops us from doing that internally? I'll just leave that right there. Which brings us to the Anarchist. Now, the Anarchist, very interesting, right? Because the Anarchist is bold. There is a boldness to when you see an Anarchist, right? And I'm not talking about Anarchist for anarchy's sake, right? They are fearless, but they're an advocate. Anarchy is not about just creating chaos. That's more the havoc bringer, right? That just wants to see everything go into chaotic motion. The Anarchist challenges norms. There's a reason for the fight. And I say there's a reason that there's this advocation of the Anarchist. It's a rally cry. It's a movement. It has a reason, as opposed to just creating anarchy, right? That would, again, moving more towards the havoc bringer. But remember, they've got to balance that rebellion, right, with collaboration. Often when we get into the anarchy side of our persona, we start dropping into that persona. We're on a mission, and usually in some cases, and I know I've been guilty of this. See if it is for you. I'm sure it is, right? Let's take a look at our Anarchist. Our Anarchist often is the one that says, yeah, I'm an advocate for me being right. I'll leave that one right there. Or what if someone does that to you? So you can see the Anarchist in them. Now, I know that your first instinct is, well, what do I do when there's an Anarchist? Well, some of the members have been asking those same questions. So if that's something you want to take a deeper dive in, I invite you right now to become a member of this channel and come on there and take that journey with us. In the meantime, I want you to look at the Anarchists as two different ways for you, because again, that's what dual path allows us to do, right? And make the choice that is right for you. And whenever that choice is, make it. It's boldness and it's fearlessness. How often do we need that? We need something that emboldens us to go in and chase our dreams, to embolden us to go ask that person out, embolden us to, move to a different location. It embolden us to, start a new workout program. I mean, the list goes on, and the Anarchist can do that because that is that spark that gives you that movement, which is why you see the torch kind of coming up behind the actual name. You see the light, you see this big hero persona, literally, of the Anarchist. And this is something really interesting. So you get to see both sides right there. And that leads us to the Omnis Seer, right? Ooh. Look at that big book. Now, that book is really interesting because often a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's like the book of knowledge. I tend to see it a little bit differently, and I look at it from the point of view that that's more of a, it's like looking into a hologram. I mean, because the Omnis Seer, literally by the name itself, by their own persona, has already got the strategy and already sees the bigger picture and is already connected in these diverse ideas, which is why you see all these, you know, celestial bodies of light and the web that's connected in this glow that comes off the Omnis Seer, because all of those things are already there. Hence the circle that you see around the persona. You even see the heart lit up. But the book is literally like looking and creating into a hologram and creating. And now my question to you is it possible? And maybe just for the back half of this week, what would it look like if you opened up a book like that? But instead of writing it down and engaging, just imagine all of the words on the page. Write without writing, because you see both of her hands are holding the book. She's creating. You see her heart's lit up. You see all of the celestial around her. How often when you get into that glow, that flow, that state, when you're truly in the eye, the connected we talk about from the belly button to the third part of third eye, if you will, your forehead, that is all in alignment. Don't you feel like this? Don't you feel like you can see everything? At least for your part, at least for your part of the universe. Remember, it's your universe, so you're going to see as much as you, and you allow yourself to the Omnis Seer to see. And this is a beautiful blend here. Now look at this. This is an interesting combination. You also have 3 colors represented. I don't know if you noticed. You've got more of the orange feeling here, the red, and of course, this beautiful golden glow. But also look where it's at. The Fabler is saying, hey, let's tell these beautiful stories. Let's make it a movement and use the drive of the anarchist part of us to tell this story and to drive it into a movement. And now we get to look at it from the Omnis Seer's point of view and seeing you already have all the strategy, you already have all the connection, all of those things. It's just making sure that you're balancing, well, let's be honest, you're balancing this need of I know it all, because the Omnis Seer can go that direction at time to time. We all can, right? But moreover, just balancing it and getting in there and just inspiring, just being is what makes the Omnis Seer, I think, so powerful, especially when you've got this lineup. So the back half of the week sounds like it is lining up for the action part of us, but not action from the gladiators persona line, but coming down and moving in here from the Fabler, the Anarchist, and the Omnis Seer, which of course, it's time to take us over here to the shadow box. And let's find out what else we're going to be looking for in this week. Man, that's a nice lineup. It's fun when you get to look at it from that point of view, isn't it? You go, oh, wow, I can tell stories a whole new way. And matter of fact, my stories can have a movement because they can be connected because my Omnis Seer sees that. I know that it's going to give me the direction because it's already been thought out. So I'm going to open the book of my creation and I'm just going to stare at it. I'm going to allow it to come up. I'm going to allow my Omnis Seer persona to activate my subconscious, to activate my emotions, and to create right into the book. And then, of course, you notice, I think it's beautiful that bookendedly, the Fabler and the Omnis Seer are both on the bookend positions of our read here, but also they're both the only ones holding books. Well, the Anarchist is the one lighting the way. I'll leave that right there. Here we go. The Havoc Bringer, the Void Regent, and the Veil Binder. Now, if memory serves, the Havoc Bringer was here last week, and so was the Void Regent. They were just in different positions, if memory serves, and now joined by the Veil Binder. So this is going to be a fun week again for us, looking at some of our need, and let's just talk about it from a thematical point of view, right? Our need to just have chaos and perfection and control. And of course, now we add the Veil Binder, and I love the Veil Binder. I mean, this card is such a beautiful card, isn't it? Look at how that shows up, and how often do we really see our shadows in our mind look like this? And we say, oh, they're all shadows. Well, no, this one particularly is the Veil Binder. But look at the Veil Binder. It just shows up, it's like staring right through you, right? Because the Veil Binder, uses charm and mystery to obscure their true intentions, manipulating situations for personal gain. Well, do we see a theme here? Yes, Bob, what do we have for them this week? Well, guess what? We have, hey, I'm not going to tell everybody what I'm doing. I'm going to make it perfect and control every bit of it. If they don't, I'm going to burn everything down. Ta-da! What a great week we get to look for internally. Now, remember, dual path dynamics said that, hey, Mystic Council said these are options. This also means this could be your internal, but also could be what you're seeing in the world, which is an opportunity to choose whether you want to engage with that. And if you do, then at least you're choosing to do it. It's not a reaction. You didn't get sucked into it. You weren't, you know, hypnotized or induced into this. None of that nonsense. You chose it. So you get to own the creation that you're creating for the back half of the week. But I think we can leave this one right here. We don't need to go much deeper. It's pretty straightforward, right? Let's work it from right to left. And that's a beautiful thing because we're actually looking, from the future timeline over here. We're sliding back to this current moment because we're coming into this week. So it's perfect for us to start. Hey, way out here, the veil binder is saying, hey, okay, I'm not going to tell you what's going on, but you know what? I'm going to charm it, make it happen, which ties into the Fabler, right? The Anarchist says, let's go. But the Void Regent says, hey, nope, it's got to look just this way, and takes over for the Anarchist, takes and starts cutting off the connections and moving away from the movement, starts bringing chaos. And the Omnis Seer is looking at the book going, what in the name are you doing here? Let's call in some oracles and find out what we are doing. Let's go to the other side here, guys. Whew. That one's pretty straightforward, and I'm fascinated, and I'd love to hear your comments. If my memory serves correct, these two showed up last week, which means they're still floating around, which means, the Mystic Persona universe. Wow, that just popped right out, didn't it? I guess that one wants to be here. All right. Veilcasters first. Ironic. We got the Veil Binder and the Veilcaster. Woo! Fun week. Love dual path dynamics. It's so much fun. Okay. That brings us to the Oracle of Wisdom and the Ascendant Sovereign. Wow. And last week was powerful. This one's even more insane. First of all, look at this. I mean, we have bookends here on the Veilcaster and the Veil Binder. Man, if we're not talking about literally bringing full integration, this, in my humble opinion, is exciting. Now, many of you are going to go, you've got to be kidding me, right? And you can put that in the comments if you want. No, it really is. Let me tell you why. Because when you look at this, how often do you get to see and be acutely aware, which is a part of the journey anyways, right? But you have both of these. You've got the Veilcaster and the Veil Binder. You've got the Shadow and the Oracle completely. You started the Veilcaster. You started this timeline, and we're moving towards the future over here. We start as the Veilcaster, and we make all of our choices as we go through the back half of this week, and boom, all of a sudden we're at the Veil Binder. Now that's an interesting opportunity. Why? Because we get to see dual path dynamics happening simultaneously, out both internally and externally, which we do anyways, but this is a really unique week for us to look at it. But when you look at the Veilcaster, let's start about, we're starting off the back half of the week with the Veilcaster helps the enchanter find balance between allure and reality, guiding them to captivate with authenticity. They transform and charm into power, use charm as a powerful tool for genuine connection and lasting influence. Influence, right? Connection, Veilbinder, not so connected. Interesting. So now we get to see this other layer coming in, as opposed to, hey, here's our core for the week. Here's the shadows. Here's the oracles. Well, now you got this cross layer going, right? We've got this diagonal line. What a powerful week, which is going to lead us right into the Oracle of Wisdom. Can we all agree, in the age of social media influence, some of the things that might be lacking, and I think this is what we're getting invited to this week, comment below, is we've gone from an age of influence and we've lost a little bit of our wisdom. Meaning, yeah, we can look anything up now. I mean, literally anything you ever want to know, you can look up and find it, right, online. And it's right there at the tip of your fingers. But just because we have knowledge doesn't mean we're wise. There's an old saying that says knowledge and wisdom is the bridge between a person who knows how to apply that knowledge and get the result. So this is a beautiful time for us to come back and go, hey, if we're coming off the Anarchist and we're taking our message and we're using our Veilcaster to connect, and we're being mindful that we're not just out, going bananas here through the Anarchist, and we're not over controlling it. Now we get to look at the Oracle of Wisdom enlightens the Wismage to balance intellect with compassion. That is a beautiful reflection for us off of the Anarchist. How often do we get going? We're on it, boom, 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 boom. Oh man, we just were like a bull in a china shop. Never happened, right? None of us have ever experienced that. No way. It's got to be somebody else. The Oracle of Wisdom is also giving us this beautiful time to really just step back and, blend the beautiful part of the heart, which is what we're seeing as kind of a core theme here, coming from the Veilcaster to the Fabler, to then moving to the Anarchist, and even some of the Havoc Bringer, right? Just getting the whirlwind started in a frame that gets the results you're looking for, and then the wisdom where to apply that comes in from the Oracle. I think it's gorgeous because it allows us then to also use the mind to be aware of what's happening on through our persona, through our oracle of wisdom. Again, you are an oracle of wisdom. You already are. You know deep down inside. Look at the light behind her. She's just aware. She's not trying to be enlightened. She just is. I mean, the Veilcaster is just literally downloading. Look at the wow, boom, just coming straight in, coming in through the top chakra, coming in through the mind, the spirit, however you want to frame it. But you can see the absolute download. And here it's just whoa, which is really beautiful because as we choose perhaps some of the more of the oracle of wisdom, and the wisdom when to just let some of the energy run, right? That's the beautiful part. It's both. It's heart and mind, and it's the beautiful blending of the oracle of wisdom. Look what shows up towards the end of the week. The Ascendant Sovereign. Look at the glow. I mean, that's like boom, the scepter, and they've got the whole royalty feel to it. It's got the celestial lit up, and this is truly us really walking into it and feeling that. And you've all had that feeling, right? Because when you're in the Ascendant Sovereign persona, right, you're going to guide yourself. This is the veil binder coming, tied in with the dark sovereign, right? From the shadows of the tyrant regent, right? Void regent's right along friend. They're cousins, don't forget, right? That with true authority uplifts rather than controls. Well, we're back to the control theme again. So let's ask ourselves these questions. Maybe it is the blend here. The anarchist in us is really saying, and see how this aligns for you. I'd love to hear your comments below. Is really saying, hey, look, we've got a movement going here. We can continue to move forward. We can continue to ascend. Yeah, it's going to have some things that are going along with it. Okay, great. But let's use that movement because this is what we get to do over here. We get to connect. We get to have unity and we get to have trust. And isn't that what we all really want? Let's start with the basic. Trust in ourselves. That's the beautiful thing of the Wismades. It teaches us the blend of intellect and intuition, the integration of the two, and dual path dynamics, giving us the blueprint through the mystic personas to do that and ascend to our own sovereign being. Recall and remember, seekers, you are a sovereign being. You always have been. You may have chosen to remember to forget that you are, and you always have been. Maybe this is a good time for you to remind yourself. I mean, the storyteller, the Omnis Seer is asking you to look, because look at all of the lights on this. Even the Void Regent does have light coming out of the top of the chakra. Even the Veil Binder has power coming out of the eye. So there's this beautiful energy that's within you that's, I think, is giving us all of an opportunity this week to look at, hey, how can we integrate the shadows of our doings and our beings and our past and our thoughts and our the shadows and the oracles, and stay on this path of, hey, we've got the story, we understand, we're using the movement of the Anarchist, and we see where we're going, and we're going to create, because the ultimate journey is creating life exactly the way that you want it, right? Now remember, here's the great thing about the personas. You're going to see the personas outside of your internals. And just because you're creating a life that you want doesn't always mean it's going to look the way you want. What it can do is look through the persona that you're looking through, because you can choose. That's what's beautiful about the mystic personas and dual path. You get to choose because they're both happening simultaneously. This is both your internal experience, or at least that's what the Mystic Persona Council is presenting for this week. This is also the externals we get to work on and look out outside and then reflect internal. Either way, both are happening simultaneously. And when that happens, we continue to reintegrate, we become more whole, we become more sovereign, and we become more open to the opportunities to look and reintegrate these shadows and the things that we made such big monsters out of, for a very long time, and often still do maybe, and reintegrate them back in. And remember that they are there for a purpose. That bringing that whole to you is truly the integration, coming back to the full self, and ultimately having the adventure of a lifetime. Wow, what an impressive week. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also, too, if you'd like to become a member, please do so right now. We take this a deeper dive. We exactly show you how this works in an even deeper level here. Each individual persona, taking to the next level, bunch more trainings, etc., etc. So make sure you become a member. For those of you who are members, thank you so much. We'll see you next time right here at Mystic Personas.